In a busy district outside Los Angeles lived a man named Ryan who had always believed that life rewarded effort. He worked in a repair shop fixing cars, spending long days under noisy engines, inhaling gasoline fumes, and dealing with customers who often complained about prices or delays. He didn't grow up privileged. He grew up with uncertainty. But he believed in changing circumstances through consistency. Ryan had plans, simple ones. He wanted to buy a home, save enough to support his aging mother, and maybe someday open his own auto shop. Life wasn't glamorous, but it was honest. But every life, even the most straightforward, has a test. In Ryan's case, that test entered the repair shop in the form of a man named Victor, a local street racer with a reputation for dirty behavior. People called him dangerous, police knew his name, but he was charming enough to stay out of serious trouble. He brought in his muscle car demanding urgent work, throwing money like it meant nothing. Ryan could sense arrogance immediately. Victor treated everyone like they were beneath him. He spoke carelessly, pushed people, and made threats when things didn't go his way. Ryan kept calm, kept professional, and focused on work, but his instinct said trouble always follows men like Victor. Weeks passed. Victor kept returning, louder, ruder, more aggressive each time. Everyone in the neighborhood feared him. Ryan tried ignoring him, like ignoring a storm, hoping it will move away. But storms don't move because we ignore them. They only approach closer. One night, Ryan was locking up when he saw Victor intimidating a teenage employee outside the shop. The kid looked terrified. Ryan stepped between them, not with aggression, but with firmness. And Victor left that night with anger brewing like fire waiting for oxygen. The neighborhood whispered that Victor was the kind of man who doesn't forget resistance. Ryan didn't want enemies, but he didn't regret protecting someone weaker. Life continued. Sunny mornings, long workdays, small savings. But Ryan noticed small signs. Scratches on his car, threatening notes thrown on the shop counter, rumors that Victor blamed Ryan for damaging his respect. The situation escalated when Ryan found his shop vandalized late one evening. Torn seats, smashed windows, paint sprayed across the floor. He knew exactly who did it. Insurance hardly covered the damage. Customers stopped coming out of fear. His boss considered closing the shop temporarily. The quiet life Ryan built was collapsing. Yet, in the middle of chaos, something inside him refused to bend. He believed that bullies don't win unless you let them. He started working nights, fixing cars mobile, driving to customer homes. The work was harder, but Ryan used it as motivation. Every challenge felt like an exercise in resilience. He listened to late-night motivational podcasts, reminding himself that storms shape stronger sailors. Meanwhile, Victor grew more aggressive around town. Street fights, illegal racing, harassment. People avoided him. Ryan, however, had a different reaction. He saw a man destroying himself from the inside. Someone trying to prove strength, but actually drowning in insecurity. Months later, Ryan earned enough from mobile repairs to rent a small garage space. It wasn't fancy. It didn't have neon signs or branded walls, but it was his. He worked alone, investing every penny into tools. One night, near closing, Victor arrived again. Engine roaring, music loud, ego louder. He demanded Ryan modify his car for an illegal race. Ryan refused, not because of fear, but because he realized his values mattered more than money. Victor reacted angrily, threatening him, promising consequences. But this time, Ryan looked into the eyes of a bully and didn't blink. Days later, Victor lost control during a street race and crashed badly. The news spread fast. People expected him to disappear, but somehow he survived, injured, broken, and no longer untouchable. Months went by, and the town began moving on, but Ryan's thoughts stayed unsettled. He wasn't happy about what happened to Victor. He just felt that violence always returns to the sender. Then something unexpected happened. Victor's younger brother came to Ryan's garage asking for work. He explained that their family was falling apart. Victor couldn't financially support them anymore, and the brother needed a job desperately. Ryan hesitated. Everyone told him not to trust anyone connected to Victor, but Ryan believed people deserve chances, especially when they are choosing a different path than their environment. Ryan hired him, slowly teaching him tools, techniques, ethics, and more importantly, self-worth. Something changed in the town. People noticed Ryan's kindness, noticed his consistency, noticed his refusal to break despite opposition. His garage became known as a safe place, a place of fairness. Months passed, business grew, customers returned, word spread. Even police occasionally stopped by for quick repairs and small talk. Ryan didn't become rich overnight, but his dignity became his identity. That mattered more. One evening, near closing time, someone entered, limping slightly, looking smaller than before. It was Victor. He wasn't loud this time. No swagger. His eyes carried exhaustion instead of arrogance. Ryan didn't speak, but he understood. Life had already spoken louder than any revenge could. Victor asked if there was any chance he could repair his life the way Ryan repaired cars. Ryan didn't answer with words. He simply nodded toward an empty workbench. Victor didn't become a hero overnight, but he started showing up, sweeping floors, learning tools, listening more than talking. Months later, Ryan's shop expanded. He hired more young workers, especially kids who needed direction. The shop turned into more than a business. It became a place that gave second chances. Ryan's story traveled around the community like quiet inspiration. People talking about how one hardworking mechanic refused to be broken, refused to hate, refused to give up. Instead of fighting darkness, he created light. Years later, Victor apologized, not dramatically, but truthfully. He admitted jealousy, insecurity, ego, and pain. Ryan forgave him, not because Victor deserved forgiveness, but because holding anger steals energy that could be used to build something better. Ryan's mother lived long enough to see her son become more than successful. She saw him become meaningful. The shop grew, expanded into a chain of small garages across different California suburbs. Ryan trained dozens of young mechanics, teaching them not just skills, but life lessons: resilience, humility, consistency, patience, and most importantly, choosing kindness even when life tests it. People sometimes asked Ryan how he survived intimidation, revenge, and threats. He always answered with the same belief: every bad person is actually a broken person trying to look strong. If you become like them, they win. If you rise above, you win. In the end, Ryan didn't defeat a villain. He transformed one, not through violence, through character. And that is the real definition of strength. Because the strongest people aren't the ones who fight back. They're the ones who build forward.